President Obama today stood shoulder to shoulder with the British Prime Minister David Cameron. They made it easy to nudge each other in the ribs with some jokes as well. Then they showed their solidarity regarding several crisis situations. CNN's chief White House correspondent Jessica Yellen is joining us. She's got the details of what happened. Jessica?
Hi, Wolf. It's clear that the special bond between these two leaders extends beyond the traditional special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. Prime Minister Cameron, by our count, is the first foreign leader to get a trip on Air Force One with the president. The two share policy goals and a personal rapport. The day began with pomp, circumstance, and a little mutual teasing.
He's learned to appreciate one of our great national pastimes. His team has told me he has decided to install a hoop at 10 Downing Street.
I will leave America with some new words. Alley-oops, brackets, fast breaks, and who knows, maybe that hoop will be installed in Downing Street after all.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
The two leaders met behind closed doors for at least 2 hours. Then in the Rose Garden addressed the full spectrum of world events. On Afghanistan, the president gave a date for a shift in mission.
At the upcoming NATO summit in my hometown of Chicago, we'll determine the next phase of transition. This includes shifting to a support role next year in 2013. In advance of Afghans taking full responsibility for security in 2014.
It's the first time the president said NATO forces will take on a support role in 2013. He made clear the time frame for negotiations with Iran is closing soon.
The window for solving this issue diplomatically is shrinking.
Prime Minister Cameron had praise for the president's handling of the crisis with Iran.
The president's tough, reasonable approach has united the world behind unprecedented sanctions pressure on Iran.
A slightly different tone on Syria. While the White House consistently says Assad will eventually go, the prime minister had a more dire warning.
If Assad continues, then civil war or revolution is the inevitable consequence.
There were many lighter moments. While the First Lady and Mrs. Cameron unveiled plans for the London Olympics, the president took the British leader to an NCAA basketball game conveniently located in the key battleground state of Ohio.
You know, the heartland is what it's all about.
It was the prime minister's first basketball game, and he joked,
She's going to help me fill out my brackets.
The president got a nice headline out of the visit, and in the Rose Garden, he couldn't resist some ribbing.
I'm still trying to get David to fill out his bracket.
And Wolf, I'm told that he needed a little bit of help because the Prime Minister's original brackets included Arsenal and Manchester United. A little joke. On a slightly more serious note, the two leaders exchanged gifts. Prime Minister received from the president a grill in commemoration of a meal that the president and prime minister shared with their families when the president was last in the UK. And the Brits, in return, are giving the White House a tennis table, a table tennis table, which in the U.S. is known as ping pong. Wolf?
So I assume, Jessica, you're getting ready to get all glamorous for the state dinner at the White House, the black tie dinner that the president, first lady are hosting for the British prime minister.
My invitation hasn't shown up, Wolf, but I'm going to place a call about that. But there is a big state dinner tonight. There is a big state dinner tonight that we'll all be watching very closely.
We certainly will be. I'm sure it'll be lovely. Thanks very much, Jessica, for that. In today's White House welcome ceremony, there was a 19-gun salute and probably an equal number of jokes by these two leaders. They are quickly becoming friends. The president began noting that the prime minister was impressed by that trip that Jessica mentioned to the NCAA tournament in Dayton. Listen to this.
The storied relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom is steeped in tradition. And last night, as president, I shared with the Prime Minister a uniquely American tradition of bracketology. March Madness. He's learned to appreciate one of our great national pastimes. His team has told me he has decided to install a hoop at 10 Downing Street. It's now been 200 years since the British came here to the White House under somewhat different circumstances. They made quite an impression. They really lit up the place. But we moved on. And today, like so many presidents and prime ministers before us, we meet to reaffirm one of the greatest alliances the world has ever known. We Americans and Brits speak the same language most of the time. So let me just say, David, we are chuffed to bits that you are here. And I'm looking forward to a great natter. I'm confident that together we're going to keep the relationship between our two great nations absolutely top-notch.
I have to say, Barack, with that spectacular command of our shared language, with all these Union flags, and with so many friends at home, you are really making me feel very at home here in Washington. So I am a little embarrassed as I stand here to think that 200 years ago, my ancestors tried to burn this place down. Now, looking around me, I can see you've got the place a little better defended today. You're clearly not taking any risks with the Brits this time. And thank you also for the lessons last night. I will leave America with some new words. Alley-oops, brackets, fast breaks, and who knows, maybe that hoop will be installed in Downing Street after all. It was a great evening. Thank you very much indeed.
It's an official visit to Washington, but the White House is calling tonight's festive meal a state dinner. The main course, a fitting Anglo-American combination. They're serving bison Wellington.